Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this afternoon? It is 1:43 p.m. on Sunday the 3rd. And I am just now getting out for the day. Which I did not realize until after I vlogged yesterday that I didn't even introduce myself or anything yesterday. So my name is Angela. I'm 27 years old and I am from Cincinnati, Ohio. And this is day 2 of the Peter Monn 14-day vlog challenge. Obviously, I'm doing this challenge because I love Peter Monn. It is freezing in this car. So I think the first video I ever watched of Peter's was from his drama channel. And I think it was a Jeffree Star video. Maybe Shane Dawson. Kind of like the beginning of the end for their careers, which I guess is not really the end because they're still around. But, so I started watching his drama channel videos, which is kind of funny because now my husband can recite Peter's drama channel opening, which is kind of funny. And it kind of snowballed from there. And I don't watch every vlog of Peter's, but most of them I do. Usually I'll wait, and I like to do fold laundry on my bed. And my computer's sitting at the end of my bed, basically. So I'll put a Peter Monn vlog, or any of his other channels if I haven't like caught up with it or anything. I'll catch up and watch his vlogs and stuff on folding laundry. Or just kind of background noise. So even if I don't watch them on the day that they're posted, a lot of times I will get caught up on them or whatever. But I watch all of Peter's channels except for the Peterisms channel, which I never got into, and I don't really know why, because it would probably do me some good to start watching that channel. But I haven't yet. So that's why I'm here, kind of. I mean, it is why I'm here. And then yesterday, I kept saying that my daughter was 5. And I don't know why, because she's not 5. She's 4, but she'll be 5 in April. So I guess she's close enough. And she's the reason why I'm so tired today. I don't know what it is about her, but she doesn't like to sleep. And it's not like she's taking naps during the day. And then, so it's not like I'm expecting her to take a 2-hour nap and then, sleep 12 hours or anything like that. But like last night, she got up at 11:30, 11:30, 5, and then 6:30. And that's when I gave up after 6:30. And it's just like, she doesn't like to sleep. And she's petrified of the dark. So we're at the point where in her room she has a lamp. It doesn't give off much light, but it gives off quite a bit. I mean, it illuminates the room. And she has a night light, which is like a solar light, that once the room gets to a certain darkness, the light will come on. So the lamp isn't bright enough I mean, it's dim enough that the nightlight will come on. But she's to the point where she's sleeping with the lamp and the nightlight because she's petrified of the dark. So we've done that. She still won't sleep, which this isn't really a new thing either. I mean, she's not slept basically since she was born. But it's like, it'd be one thing if she was getting up in the middle of the night with nightmares, which she does. Maybe not as often as she used to, but she still does wake up with nightmares or stuff. But it's almost like she's waking up and she's like, thinks I left her or something. So we get up. I mean, out of 7 days a week, I would say at least 5, if not more, I get up once a night. If not twice. Mostly it's once a night, but sometimes it's twice a night. And it's like, I talked to her doctor about it, and her doctor was just kind of like, well, you know, maybe it's getting to the point where you need to just start ignoring her and letting her cry it out. And I get that to a certain point, but it also kind of feels cruel to me to do that to her, especially if she's had a nightmare. Which, another thing is that she's in a toddler bed still, just because she's tiny and she can still fit in a toddler bed, but she can easily get in and out of the toddler bed. She will not get out of bed. She will not get out of bed. She will not leave her room. In the morning, she will fake cry to wake me up, and I will go and open her door and basically, like, give her permission to get out of bed. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's some kind of residual thing from being in a crib or what, but I've tried to tell her multiple times, you do not have to wait for me to come and get you. Like, you can get up out of bed. And she'll do it for maybe a day and then go right back to being normal. So I don't know what is up with that. I'm almost to the point where I want to maybe try and get some like melatonin gummies for her, just to see if it'll get her to sleep through the night, because gosh, she's almost 5 years old and I am so tired of not sleeping. So it's like, I'm at a total loss. And like I said, she doesn't take a nap during the day. The only time she ever takes a nap is if we go on a very long car ride. And she'll fall asleep during the car ride. But other than that, she hasn't taken a nap, or she hasn't been on a nap schedule in over a year. So, I don't know. And I just kind of got to a point, I didn't even tell my husband I was vlogging. I just told him that I needed to go get Starbucks, which I plan on doing at some point. But I needed to get out of the house just for a little bit. I took down the rest of my Christmas decorations today. It was just the outside stuff. So I did that today, and I threw some laundry in. So, at least I did something productive today, I guess. I'm almost done reading my first book of 2021, which is Later Gator by Jana DeLeon. It's part of the Misfortune series. It's book 9. And technically, I started it in December. And I kind of stopped. Like, I go through these weird reading binges. Like, at the beginning of September, or the beginning of December, I read like 8 books in a week, the Jana DeLeon series, because they're short books and they're easy reads. And then it was just kind of like I stopped mid-book, and then I didn't read for the rest of the month. And it's like, I don't know why I do that, but I go through like a reading binge where I read a lot, and then I go and then like go a whole month with reading 1 or 2 books. So I don't know. But my goal for this year is 52 books, 1 for each week. I read 23 books last year, which I was kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't push myself to read the final 3 books, because I wanted to get to 26, because that would have been half of 52. And I really didn't start reading until May of last year, and I read a few books, and then I stopped, and then I really got into it during September. And September was probably the start. I maybe read 6 or 7 books before that, and I really got into it September through December. But hopefully I can get 52 books done this year. That'd make me proud. I put on Facebook that I read 23 books this year, and I was pretty proud of myself, considering most of it was September through December. And my aunt, who's also a reader, comments on it. I read 71 books this year. Oh, good for you. Like, you know, I wasn't home for 2 weeks with COVID, so that was kind of mean, but you'd have to know her. So I'm probably going to try and finish a Jenna DeLeon series. I think he said she's got 18 books out. So that would be 9 books for the year so far. And then my cousin's wife recommended Rachel Abbott books, which are suspenseful thrillers or something like that. So I would like to try and read one of her books and see how I like it. Which I really got into Stephen King during the month of October, and I actually read, October and November I was reading Stephen King books that I really got into. I read Cujo, The Shining, Pet Sematary, and The Tommyknockers is what I read. My favorite out of all of those would have been Pet Sematary. And probably a close second would have been The Tommyknockers. The Tommyknockers was a long book, like super long. But it was good. And I do have it on my bookshelf too, but it's really long, like almost 1,000 pages, and it's like a big hardback book. So I haven't got up the urge to read that yet. I started a booktube channel, and I did like 4 videos, and then I quit. I think the reason why I quit was just because, like, I was trying too hard, and I got burnout real fast, because I would do it during the 3 hours that Annabelle was in school. But I would like go home and shower and do my hair and do my makeup and set up everything and film and all that, and then have to go and get Annabelle and then come home and then edit everything. And it was exhausting. So I got burned out real quick on that. Maybe I shouldn't have, but like, I can't film anything at home when Annabelle's there. I mean, it would be like a mommy and me vlog if I tried to do that. She's nosy. Or there'd be like constant background noise. And then I don't really want to film with my husband around because it's like, I feel like he's judging. So I don't do that either. So I don't know. Story of my life, I guess. I was talking to my good Judy Emily last night. We hadn't seen each other for a year. Last January, we went to a paint night, which is like you go to this studio and you can bring alcohol with you and you can drink and like you have an instructor that shows you how to, you have different pictures that you can pick to paint. So me and her did a paint night and we went out to eat and hung out and had a couple drinks and then had a couple drinks at the paint night and all that stuff, and that was fun. And then she got a job in Columbus, and so she was living at her parents' in Cincinnati at the time. And so she moved out and went to Columbus for the job. So I hadn't seen her in almost a year, and I hadn't talked to her in probably like 6 months. And when I was doing our Christmas cards, I actually messaged her to get her address to send her a Christmas card, and we kind of just like fell back into this rhythm of talking to each other and all this stuff. It was like no time had passed at all. And we made plans that, you know, she was coming back to visit her parents for Christmas. So we actually got together the Saturday after Christmas and went to Starbucks and got something to eat and got some snacks and some drinks and went back to her place and played Golden Girls Monopoly, played cards, stuff like that. And it's only been a week since then and I miss her already. Which, I mean, Columbus isn't that far away, but it might as well be on the other side of the world. But we do plan on, whenever she comes back, that we're gonna get together. She said she tries to get back like once a month, which would be really nice. I guess if I had a free weekend, I guess I could go up and visit her too. But like, I really don't have any other friends. You know, friends with some of, like, Dan's friends' wives. And I just don't jive well with them. It's not that I don't like them or anything. It's just we don't mesh. Like, we're just not compatible. And Dan doesn't see his friends very much either, so it's not like we see each other all the time or anything like that either. And I miss having friends. But I guess that's what happens when you get married and have a family. So I'm going to try and make an effort to be a better friend, not get out of touch with people. Started his new job. Well, it's not really his new job, it's a job that he has had previously that he came back to as a second job. He's like a supervisor and working 12 hours on Saturdays. So he got home and he was exhausted and fell asleep on the couch. And well, he fell asleep on the couch. And then as I was going to bed, he woke up, and I'm sure he was up most of the night. And I don't know if maybe I was taking up the whole bed or what, but then he just went back to sleep on the couch. Whatever. So then Annabelle got me up at 6:30 this morning, and of course she wants something to eat right away. And then I ended up trying to sleep on the couch for at least a little bit. Annabelle's getting to the point where she's starting to actually go to her room to play, which is fine. I mean, it's kind of weird, but it keeps our living room a little bit nicer for a little bit longer without a bunch of toys in there. So I tried to get some sleep, and the cats kept waking me up. I don't know what it is, but the cats think that anytime I get up, no matter if it's daylight out or not, they start beating on the blinds, the window blinds, to try and get me to open them up. It's annoying. So I kept getting woke up from that. Finally opened the blinds for them, just to get left alone. And I maybe got another hour before Dan got up. And then I took the Christmas stuff down, and then by that time he went and got us something to eat, and I was just like, I just want some Starbucks. Like, I need to get out of the house for a little bit. So that's where I'm at. I'm sure Starbucks is probably packed. I might just drive around a while and then go to the Starbucks inside Meyer, because there's never a line. Or there's like one person in line. There's people in the drive-thru. Yeah, it's lined like 20 cars, naturally. So I'll go see what the other Starbucks looks like and go from there. I'm just driving around anyway. Maybe I'll go inside Walmart. Or not Walmart, Meijer. Starbucks in there. I'm getting really into, I'm right beside our half-price books. And it makes me think of, I'm like behind on the times, I guess. Because I didn't know until recently that the libraries are starting to lend out ebooks. I don't know how long they've done that for, but I'm behind on the times because I would just go out and buy a book. Which I didn't really think about it at the time because I don't know what it is, but I love a good physical copy of a book. And I've talked about this before on my booktube. That I love the feeling of a physical copy of a book. Of course, depending on what you get. I mean, obviously a hardback book is more expensive than a paperback, and depending on what you get and all that stuff. And I know Peter does audiobooks. Now, I read my first audiobook in 2020. It was The Briar King. Oh gosh. Who was the author of The Briar King? I forget. But it was The Briar King. It was like 20 hours long. Never thought I'd get through it. It was not a bad story. I liked it fairly well. That was actually a recommendation from Dan to read. So I got the audiobook for free. So I actually got the library book, and then I read along with the audiobook. Because I've tried to listen to audiobooks before, but like my mind just kind of goes off thinking about other things that I don't pay attention to what I'm listening to. And I don't know if that's because I'm used to stuff being in the background. Like, I like to read with music in the background. It kind of actually helps me concentrate a little bit, or like it blocks out other noises. And like I'll read with headphones or whatever. So I don't know if it comes from that or what, but I have such a hard time listening to audiobooks. So maybe that's something I'll get into this year, maybe a little bit more. Maybe to the point where I don't actually have to like read along. Which it wasn't bad reading along. It was like kind of like being in school again. But so I don't really like audiobooks as of right now. I like a physical copy of the book. But I didn't realize that having the ebook and having Kindle on my phone, it's so much easier for me to read. And for whatever reason, when I need music to kind of drown out reading from a physical copy of a book, I can read on my phone and just automatically cancel everything out. Like, I can read with the TV playing in the background, or Dan's video game, or Annabelle playing, or all that stuff. I can read an ebook on my phone, canceling all that stuff out. I don't know why. I don't know why that would be any different from having an actual book. But it does make a difference, and I think I read more just because, you know, I obviously have my phone with me all the time, and it's easier, you know, you're flipping through Facebook or whatever, like, oh, well, I'm just going to read a chapter while I'm waiting for this, or when I'm, you know, standing in line at the grocery store or whatever, and it's easy just to flip to my Kindle app and read a chapter and get out of it and go do something else. So that's definitely made a difference. And now that the library is doing ebooks, I don't know how many, I mean, they had all the Janet DeLeon books so far on ebooks. Now, I was looking for Rachel Abbott's book that was recommended to me, and it wasn't on Kindle, it was on some other reading app. So, I don't know whether or not I want to try a different app other than Kindle just to read it, or I might just, which it didn't have physical copy on at least my library. Now, another book she read that just came out in 2020, and I forget what it's called. They have several copies of it, and of course all the copies are taken. But it wasn't on an ebook, it was just regular hard copy. So, I don't know. I did take pictures of some of the Goodreads award winner books from last year that I thought about reading. I kind of want to get into graphic novels because I used to read manga a lot as a teenager, and I kind of like to get into the manga graphic novel stuff. Now, I did start the Walking Dead graphic novel at one point, and I never finished it just because I wasn't really big into reading at the time. So I'm hoping I can find some graphic novel stuff to read. I'm really interested. I do have Game of Thrones. I have the first 2 books of the Game of Thrones series, and I heard that they turn those books into graphic novels, which I think would be awesome to read. So I'd kind of like to read those as well. But I don't know. I'm trying not to force myself into reading because I feel like if I try and force myself that I will just kind of shut down. Because God, I haven't, I was big into books back in like 2012 to like 2014 or whatever. And then once Dan and I got together and we moved, and I was kind of reading here and there, but then I got pregnant, and my life at least kind of came to a abrupt halt, and motherhood took over, and I feel like I kind of lost myself a little bit during motherhood, which I'm sure that's not an uncommon thing to happen. So last year I was kind of like, you know what, I want to start reading again because I enjoyed it so much. I think I owe it to myself to at least try and get back of something that I love to do. That's, obviously not gonna be an expensive thing to do, because you can always get books from the library, you can borrow books from friends, things like that. And I'm a crafty person as well. I crochet, and I've dabbled with chainmail, doing that. Not really anything crazy with that, but I have dabbled. I have a pattern that I want to make a necklace for me and Emily. So I've been dabbling with that. I crochet. I've been dabbling with sewing, like a sewing machine and quilts and all that. Been dabbling with it. But those things can be expensive to do, because you have to buy materials and all that stuff if you don't have the materials on hand. I did crochet Annabelle's teachers a scarf and like a ear warmer headband. I crocheted them each those for Christmas, which they seem to like, and I had that stuff on hand because right now we don't really have the extra money to be doing much of anything. But it was kind of nice to kind of get that almost like a crochet itch out a little bit. So that was nice. Trying to think of what I want to get from Starbucks. I didn't start getting into Starbucks until I started watching Peter's review channel. And that made me, because I am not a coffee drinker whatsoever. I do not like coffee. Maybe I just haven't found anything that I liked yet, but I'm not a coffee person, so I never went to Starbucks. Well, if I got to Starbucks, I would get a berry hibiscus tea with lemonade, which is good. But I would never get coffee, so I tried the Frappuccinos, which I have tried Frappuccinos with coffee in them and without. And that's kind of what I'm on. I'm on a Frappuccino kick right now because it's almost like a milkshake. So I don't know if that counts as coffee, but that's what I've been getting in Starbucks. Don't break the law. Can't believe I've been vlogging for 36 minutes already. I can't believe that my last vlog was like an hour and 10 minutes. I guess I'm more long-winded than I originally thought. I guess I'm a rambler. Me and Emily could talk for 10 hours and never miss a beat, and never have any kind of awkward silence. I have a friend from high school that we were super close in high school, and she, when we got out of high school, we kind of floated apart, which happens. But it's kind of like anytime we don't really jive anymore. Like, she's come to, you know, Annabelle's birthdays, and she was my maid of honor at my wedding and all that stuff, which honestly, not to sound like a bitch, but I should have had Emily be my maid of honor, or at least in my wedding at all. You know, at that time, we only kind of just worked together, and we worked together really well. I am in line for Starbucks. Heck yes. I need to figure out what I'm getting. So, I should have had Emily as my maid of honor. I should have. Because what had happened was, you know, the girl from high school was my maid of honor. You know, she's supposed to plan my bachelorette party and all that stuff, and she didn't, because she's kind of flaky that way. So, another girl that I worked with that, you know, I told was going to be invited to the bachelorette party, she basically took over and gave me a bachelorette party, which was super nice of her. She didn't have to do that, but she made my bachelorette party. That was, you know. We went to a drag show at a gay bar. It was so fun. And we all got so drunk. And I managed not to throw up at least until the morning. And the girl that planned the bachelorette party, she was trying to get me to drink mimosas the next morning, and I about punched her in the face, like, get the alcohol away from me. I don't care if it's wine or champagne or whatever. So there was that. That was so fun, though. I would love to do that again. My uncle, we took an XL Uber because we were staying at a hotel. We took an XL Uber from the hotel to the bar. We were at the bar, and my uncle had to come and get us because there was no Ubers in the area. So there was 8 of us in a 5-passenger Trailblazer. 3 of them had to sit in the trunk of the Trailblazer. And apparently I felt the need to keep screaming, "I love you," to my uncle. And he still says he can't hear out of that ear to this day. He's full of shit. What do I want to eat? Oh gosh. Can I get a venti mocha cookie crumble frappuccino?
Okay.
And that'll be it.
That's $5.75. Thank you.
Thank you. Call me stupid. I didn't know the thing was right there. I've never been through the drive-thru at Starbucks. Because I about passed it. Because I was too busy talking. So yeah, it was a good bachelorette party. They all still talk about it now, even though I don't work with them anymore. I guess I need to start putting money on my Starbucks gift card because you get double the points. Because I've got like 240 points out of 400. Because at 400, I want to get a new Starbucks cup. Because I'm that person. I've already got one Starbucks cup. I got like the red disco ball one that Monn had. So there's that. Does anybody watch The Mandalorian? Look what I got for Christmas. Isn't it cute? I got the bag to match. I love it. I about cried when I opened it. Okay. I gotta use my phone for my points. So I will be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. Look at that. Mocha cookie crumble frappuccino. Lovely. This is the first time I've been through a Starbucks drive-thru. Believe it or not. I usually go inside. Well, I usually go inside because usually the lines are super long in the drive-thru. That, or I go into a Starbucks that's in a store. But I made it at the perfect time for this Starbucks because there wasn't that many people in line. And then as I was leaving, like 15 cars pulled in the drive-thru. It's so good. My dad was harassing me about Starbucks. We, New Year's Day, we went and upgraded our phones. And, because I'm still on their plan. And, we went and got new phones. Which is another reason why I wanted to go ahead and start vlogging, because we thought we were going to get iPhone 11s because it was only going to be like $5 a month. Well, for whatever reason, I guess it's because we traded in our old phones and that they were still in working condition, that we were able to get iPhone 12s for $3 a month. So now we got iPhone 12s. So now I don't have a piece of crap phone anymore. I had an iPhone 8 Plus before, and I'd had it forever. Not really forever, but like 3 years I had that phone. And it was just kind of getting worn out. Like, I couldn't hear when I was on the phone, so I'd have to talk on the phone on speakerphone in order to hear it. One of the speakers, like at the bottom of the phone, was kind of blown out. So you'd have to turn it all the way up to hear any kind of, like, if you're watching a YouTube video or anything like that. It was just old. The battery was only like, you could only charge it to like 82%. Or the battery was like 82% capacity, or however what you want to say that. So I was having to charge it at least twice a day if I was doing anything. It's really nice. The camera quality is amazing. I got a green color, because green's my favorite color. It's a very nice color green. It's almost like a seafoam green. Very light. I got a clear case for it so I can see the color. I made sure I got the case. I have a very bad habit of dropping my phone. However, I have not dropped it to the point the screen cracked, but I am very hard on screen protectors, which, like, I try to tell my husband when he makes fun of me for it, that's the point of having a screen protector. So when you drop it, you don't break the screen. So therefore, I'm using the screen protector for its fullest potential. But for this phone, I made sure I got a case, because the case I had on my iPhone 8 was just like a nice frilly rubbery thing that you had on it. It still protected it, obviously, because I dropped it out of the car enough times to test it. But I made sure that the case I got for this iPhone 12 was tested for 15-foot drop. So she thick. The case is thick. It's like you clip this plastic, these two edges together that fit around the front and the back of the phone, and then you have a rubber grip around that case. She thick. However, I have not dropped my phone in the toilet like my mother, who has dropped her phone in the toilet not once, but twice. Is because she keeps her phone in her pockets. Either her front pocket or her back pocket, and they fall out when she goes to the bathroom. She was looking for waterproof cases for her phone, new phone. I'm like, Mom, just don't take your phone to the bathroom. However, my dad drives a forklift, and apparently he's dropped his phone off the forklift several times too. To each their own. I do it all the time. I dropped my phone earlier today. It was just off the couch. I was laying on it, and it fell off the couch. You know. I've got butterfingers. Let me tell you about my mother-in-law. My father-in-law got her a new phone for Christmas. She does month by month, like a prepaid phone through Verizon. So on Christmas Day, when we went over there, they told Dan to try and get her phone up and running. So he was trying to get her phone up and running. So she had so many apps and so many pictures on her phone that the phone was full. You could probably add pictures maybe, but you couldn't download anything. He was trying to get her account information from the Verizon app to try and switch over her service from the old phone to the new phone, because he needed the information. He needed to put in the new like whatever SIM card address or whatever from the old phone. Well, in order to get on the Verizon app on her phone, he had to update it. Well, he couldn't update it because there was no room in the phone to update it. So he was like, Mom, what pictures can I delete off of here to try and save or try and get some memory back? Well, he couldn't delete any photos because she hadn't backed up any of the photos. Okay, well, I'll delete the Facebook app. Well, couldn't delete the Facebook app because she don't know her password to get on Facebook. Okay, well then we'll go ahead and change the password on Facebook. Couldn't change the password on Facebook because she don't have the email that's linked to the account anymore. Okay. So then it's like, well, we can't change the email on the Facebook because she don't have the password to the Facebook. So literally could do nothing at all. Couldn't do anything for her. So she ended up going to the Verizon store. I don't know why she didn't I don't know why she didn't go to the Verizon in town. She went somewhere else. So she went somewhere else to the other Verizon store around here. And got the phone up and running, got all of her stuff switched over, blah blah blah. Gets out of Verizon, starts going about her business. Tries to call Dan's dad, and comes up a busy signal. She's like, well, that's weird. So then she tries to call me, and it comes up a busy signal. So, on her way back, on her way to her home, she stopped at the Verizon store by our house. It turns out that the phone that Dan's dad got her isn't compatible with being a prepaid month-by-month phone. Don't know why the other dude at the first Verizon store didn't see that. So, and his dad did not buy the phone at a Verizon store. He bought it at Best Buy. So then, she had to run up to Best Buy and wait in line, get a number, wait in line. They let her return the old phone, even though it was past the time that you were allowed to return it. Which, I think people are getting more lenient, or stores are getting more lenient about that, just because of COVID and all that stuff. Which I think is nice, because, especially around Christmas time, like, if you buy any kind of gift early, and for whatever reason that they don't like it or all that stuff, it's like they can't return it. So, but anyway, so she had to return the old phone, get a new phone that was compatible with the month-by-month plan, and then they had to switch all of her stuff over, which luckily they did at Best Buy. So finally, after like a week and all that bull crap, she finally got her new phone. It actually took us a couple hours to get our new phones, because when we went there, we had all of our passwords and stuff ready. Well, I already knew mine, but my mom and dad had to write theirs down, because, you know, old people memory. But it took so long, because I guess my phone and my dad's phone had to, like, actually update. And it's not like we had, like, our phones were up to date, at least what they told us. We never got a mention of a new update or anything. So not only ours had to update, my mom's was done like in a few minutes. We actually left and went and got something to eat, just because we were just kind of waiting around. And ours had to update, and then they had to switch all the stuff over. Well, my dad's got done, and then their internet went down in the middle of mine. So by the time we went and got ate and came back, we still had to wait another freaking 10 minutes for my phone to switch everything over. It's like, holy crap. But we got everything situated. My dad didn't want to go to Walmart to get cases and screen protectors. You go to the Verizon store and they sell their OtterBoxes for $40 a piece, and you can go to Walmart and they sell them for $20. What kind of sense does that make? So my mom made my dad go to Walmart, and we got cases and screen protectors. He was going to go to work the next day with no screen protector and no phone case on his brand new iPhone 12, Even though he knows he drops his phone off the forklift. And I'm like, no, Dad, you need to protect your new phone. So then I save my screen protector because Dan usually puts mine on. And it's got like a little tray that you sit the phone in so that you line up everything correctly. And the damn screen protector got stuck in the case and wouldn't pop out like it's supposed to. So now my screen protector's all fucked up and got bubbles and dirt and shit underneath it because Dan was messing with it. So now I need a new one of those. Well, I don't have to have a new one right now. Thought about, Dan likes those privacy ones. The ones that, like, if you're looking at them from the side, it just looks like the person's tapping on a blank screen or a black screen. But when you look at it head on, you can actually see it. Thought about getting one of those. Which he has one of those, and then he tries to show me something. And like I have to adjust it to where I can see it because he's trying to watch the video so both of us can see it. And I'm like, your privacy screen won't let me see it. So I'm glad I got a venti. Usually I get a grande. It's just a venti kind of day. Oh, my dad was making fun of me because I wanted to get Starbucks when we were getting our phones taken care of. He's like, you want to wait in line for a $5 coffee? I said, yep. I don't get Starbucks every day. I would like to, but I don't. Last time I had a Starbucks was last Saturday. So it's been a week since I had my last Starbucks. I do feel better though, driving around having Starbucks. I'd like to go home and take a nap. That'd be even more amazing. I kind of feel bad because I still have Christmas stuff up and it's the 3rd. There's still people with the Christmas stuff up. It's kind of funny because in town, there's this person that has their skeleton out from Christmas or from Halloween, and they just put a Santa hat on him for Christmas. I thought that was funny. Well, and then the nightmare before Christmas, some people in town have these blow-ups of Jack Skellington and Sally, and they just left him up for Christmas too. I'm like, well, technically that movie's both. Technically. They're putting up a tree stand. What's with it with the tree stands the last 2 days? Drive around the trailer park for a minute. Get my last thoughts out, I guess. Before my husband starts calling me, where are you at? You just said you were going to Starbucks. Drove around a little bit. The line was long. It was in the summertime because it was from an air conditioner. One of these trailers in here burnt down. It was so sad. It was a fairly young couple. I think the girl was pregnant at the time. They lost the trailer, they lost everything in it. It happened while they were at work. So they lost the trailer, they lost everything in it, and they lost their puppy that they just got. I couldn't imagine. I guess they were renting the trailer from somebody, which they're not even supposed to do around here. But they were renting the trailer from somebody, and their air conditioner the air conditioner was dripping on the outlet that the air conditioner was plugged in, and it started an electrical fire. I worry about that sometimes because trailers are very easy to catch fire. That, and they burn quickly. So I always worry about that. I'm very careful about that. I was very paranoid about it when we first moved in. I'm not really paranoid about it now. Like, it would keep me up at night paranoid. But it doesn't necessarily make me paranoid now, but I'm very careful about it. I wish we could have got a double wide, but we wouldn't have been able to afford a double wide at the time. Because it's not like you can get financing for a trailer. It's all out of pocket, basically. I mean, you might be able to get like a personal loan or something, but there's not really an actual like mortgage for a trailer or anything like that. But what we got now will satisfy us for a couple more years, and then Dan's talking about wanting to get a house. That'd be fine with me, I guess. I mean, a house is a little bit different than a trailer. His mom and dad wouldn't be happy because his mom loves the fact that we're literally 3 houses down from her. And his dad, you know, they had to foreclose on their house, and they're all still upset about it. And so he's basically like, I'll never buy a house again, you should never buy a house, and all that stuff. So I'm like, I told Dan, I said, you know that they're gonna be mad if we go buy a house. He said, yeah, I know. Which, they'll get over it, I guess. Down the drain, I don't know however you say that, under my belt. So, thank you so much for spending the day with me. I will see you in the next one. And if no one's told you this today, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Love ya.